Hi, good morning everyone. Welcome to Simply Nature, Healthy is Sexy, and this is Jaslin once again every Thursday at 8 a.m. A very good morning to all my friends in the Philippines. Maganda umaga and 大家早上好，大家早安. This is Jaslin here, and I'm going to start sharing with you about this 2019. Alright, so I'm going to start a new series. If you have been following my sharing, this is my 40th episode. Alright, so I was thinking for the last week, what I'm going to share. I mean, I've shared 40 episodes, and if you have been following about my health tips and my sharing, I think I've almost covered everything in our part and parcel of our life. So there might be some overlapping or some repeated sharing, because I find that it could be a reminder to many of us that has not been fulfilling, or you have been saying every year, this is my New Year resolution, this is my New Year resolution, but you never get to do on it. So I mean, I'm going to just a second, let me post it on my page itself. I'm just going to reshuffle everything, and I wanted to share with you guys new things, but I think there's certain things that we're going to go back to basic. So we are starting a brand new year. I mean, 1 week has gone, everybody's getting back to work, momentum is catching up, and I think that it concerns every people's life. And I'm going to share with this very 5 basic needs of human being. If you are a human being out there, say, yeah, I'm a human being. Alright, so these 5 basic needs, none other than air, water, food, clothing, and shelter. So what I'm going to share will evolve these 5 basic needs. Alright, and so the topic will be based on these 5 needs. Every one of us out there, all these 5 concern the well-being of every mankind, and it's a very making the right effort and making sure that we take responsibility to do our best to ensure that these 5 basic needs are fully achievable and sustainable in this 2019. Alright, let me repeat the 5 basic needs: air, water, food, clothes, and your shelter. So these 5 basic needs are the basis of our human life. If you don't have any one of them, probably you are suffering, you are going through some depression, or probably you have died if you have no air for the last few minutes. Alright, and no water for 3 days, you'll not be able to survive. So having these 5 basic needs in our 2019, and we're going to focus around these 5 basic needs. The topic would very much be something that is of interest to every human being right here, if you are listening to me. Alright, so and we need to make sure that these 5 basic needs is achievable, sustainable, and you have to take full responsibility of it. Whether you are socialist, capitalist, environmentalist, protectionist, communist, etc., you need the 5 basic needs, isn't it? So today, let me start by sharing about the first one, which is air. We all know that we need fresh air, because fresh air cleans your lungs. Your lungs dilate more than so that it can have an increase of oxygen. So fresh air improves the cleansing of your lungs. You release airborne toxic from your body when you're exhaling your lungs. So when you don't get enough fresh air, what happens? You will be less productive at work, and you don't get outside of work, because the still air in your office can cause you sick, and building this sick syndrome. And this sick syndrome happens when you are confined in a tightly sealed building where the air is recycling, especially in my office. It's very obvious. We have like close to 1,000 of people in the office, and you will see, you will know, you know, when someone's falling sick, and you somehow subconsciously you will think, shit, am I the next one? Because the air has been going around recycle in the same building for donkey years, right? So especially, you know, if it's an old building, which is where I am right now in Makati, it is a 50 years building. I wonder how frequent they clean the air, or which probably not, never had, you know. So I'm going to focus on the air that you breathe and the day in day out of your life, you know. Today I'm going to touch more on why the air we breathe has been so important, as well as if you're exposed to toxicity in the air, then you really got to watch out and start making sure that the air you breathe, you know, whether you're in the office or whether you are a Uber driver or a cab driver or a transport driver, you know, the air that you breathe in your car, in your vehicle, is even more crucial. All right, so I'm going to share more on the danger of air refreshener. Thinking that using an air refreshener is a way of cleaning the air or making the air, still air smells good. You know, what you don't know today, I'm going to share with you. All right, air refreshener has been around for quite some times. As young as I was like 7 or 8. Oops, I'm not going to reveal my age, but I've seen air refreshener in my home. The most popular one lately, or it's been years, has been this little tree air refreshener that people hang in a house, in a wardrobe, in a car. And you know that this tiny little tree that you've seen at the rear view mirror, all right? Well, many of us drive around with this multi-scent little tree and other similar devices, whether it's in a can, you know, the scent refreshener that pumped out fragrance in our car. You know, do you ever actually think of what those smells came up from and how it would affect our body? If you're going to do a Google search or read more about it, you realize that they're actually toxic and chemical that carries in this kind of air refreshener. You know, we could be using the one that is spraying, you know, to make the air feels good. There's a scent, lemon scent, apple scent, lavender scent. You really have to start reading the label, right? Because more than anyone could know, this scent that you are smelling every day could produce headache, dizziness, and some negative symptoms. You know, I think it's time that we pay attention to the product that we are buying, you know, especially those that you are using it day in, day out. You know, the danger of air refreshener, especially the synthetic one, air refreshener that you find in any supermarket or even some convenience stores. In fact, this scent, you know, are so bad that people are naming it as like a new second-hand smoke. You know, it's not surprising, you know, either it's giving up 95 chemical that used in synthetic fragrance are derived from petroleum, aka crude oil, you know, which is actually not good for inhaling for human being or even for life living things. You know, this include chemicals that are carcinogenic, you know, derivatives. There's a very long name that I find hard to pronounce. It's a chemical name. Let me get to you the chemical name. All right, it is a name that I find even hard to pronounce it right now. It seems too difficult, but this is something that everyone should know about it. There's this tree chemical that is sitting in air refreshener, whether it's the tree types, the little tree types, the one in a can, you know, or the one that is spray type. All right. Hang on, let me get to it. Oops. All right. Just a second. I'm trying to find the names. You know, phthalate, aldehyde, and TOUENE. You see, it's so hard. TOUENE, TOUENE. All right. So these are the three that would commonly found in the air refreshener or the fragrance that you have it, whether it's at home, in your car, in your wardrobe. All right, so just like this synthetic scents I just mentioned, it poses a health risk, and as I said, it is a new name for it. It's called a secondhand smoke. You know, people are interesting, they always give names to it. All right, so why is it so toxic? Because it is linked to birth defects, allergy reactions, and it can affect your central nervous system disorder. So whether it's obvious, the air refreshener, like the little trees that you use in your car rev view mirror, trying to get to the manufacturer to own up to the ingredients or labor, proved to be so difficult. You know, there are many authority that was trying to put in place the and find out what exactly is being used in the product itself, but they will always claim that it is a patent, you know, it is something that is a formula that it cannot be disclosed. So, you know, the transparency list put out by the International Fragrance Association show just how many fragrance chemical might be exposed to in a single car ride. So that's why whenever I'm in a car ride, whether it's Uber or Grab, and I'm seeing that there is this can of refreshener or what you call it, you know, scent in the car, and it's actually blowing directly at me, especially when air con is aimed at it, air refreshener, so that, you know, the scent actually came out and blowing straight at me. I will always tell the driver to, could you put that down, you know, could you put it away, because I really find that it's annoying and irritating to my sense. You know, I don't find it fragrance, and I'm in fact, and because knowing this information right now costs a conscious effort for me to say, okay, I'm not gonna smell all this air refreshener products right now. So, you know, according to the watchdog Environmental Defense Canada Health Environment, do not test automotive air freshener for safety. And they say, while this regulated, this individual products will not be tested. In fact, a lot of authority are not looking at it yet, but I think with all this little block and information out there that people are claiming that the scents that we are smelling every day, you know, poses health threats, I think people are looking into it right now. So fragrance is the main things to look out for in a air refreshener. While it is often labeled as one ingredient, but the fact that it is actually a compound of more than hundreds of different chemicals. All right, but when you see fragrance, you know, if you were to look at the label, this word fragrance, you know, that seems to be only one compound, but actually it makes up by more than, it says here, hundreds of different chemical. So, you know, 75% chance legally hidden, you know, phthalate, you know, within the fragrance, which isn't a good thing. So not only phthalate's a problem, phthalate as in PHTHALATES, you can Google about it. You know, as I mentioned, it's not just a problem, but alhydrolate and toluene and other petroleum derived chemical that are synthetic are also placed, you know, as a hidden name behind called fragrance. All right, so it's really pretty worrisome, you know, things that we're exposed to nowadays. You know, this group of chemical name that is difficult to pronounce are often used to soften and increase the flexibility of plastic and vinyl, like PVC, you know, that we find in our daily whether it's the carpentry work, you know, your flooring, your shoes, your bags, you know, these chemicals are used in even cosmetic to help fragrance last longer. So even lotions that penetrate your skin, you know, you can find this chemical in it. So we are exposed to all this chemical every day in, day out, whether you like it or not. But the truth is, it has been around us for the last probably 30-40 years. You know, it goes to note that all this chemical will interfere with, there's a research being done, you know, males hormones, females hormones. It's going to affect us, our reproductive abnormality, and phthalate will also have linked to diabetic, autoimmune disease, and obesity. So I've named all this danger. In fact, toluene, TOLUENE, this chemical is linked to developmental reproductive toxicity, organ system toxicity, and even irritation like skin sensitive. So in fact, it is also a neuron toxic, and it's mainly sourced from petroleum crude oil. It also causes lung, liver, kidney, heart, central nervous system damage. That's why for some people, if they're exposed to this chemical long enough, they are always having constant headache, loss of muscle control, brain damage. They have loss of memories or short memories, absent-mindedness, problem with speech, hearing, visions, brain fog, memory loss, and even for prolonged exposure, it might cause us death. I mean, I'm going it really serious matter we're talking about, you know, because you're not knowing what you're exposed to every day. So I have a series that was sharing about how do we clean out air, you know, are we using the air refreshener, or I've been planting we call that indoor air refreshener, which are the plants, you know, that are good to remove toxic, which I probably will be repeating this topic in this year, because I find that it's important for us to know all this thing out there, so that we are aware, we can make effort and conscious decisions to make sure that all this toxic, whether it's in the air, water, food, clothes, and shelter, in a way, is removed, so that we are least exposed to all these toxic and causing health disaster, right? So as I have outlined, the reason why air refreshener that we have in our life is pretty will be causing our health havoc. You know, I'm going to repeat the issue that is going to affect us. Number one, it's going to cause your immune and lymphatic system havoc. You know, it's going to have a chemical warfare on your body. Your entire immune system will be affected, probably will be shut down. No wonder fragrance is the trigger for cancer. It has been a talk of the topic already. And if you are exposed, if you are a perfume person, you have been spraying perfume, and I realized in Philippines, people like to overdose perfume on their clothes, on their skin. You know, I advise my friends out there to start cutting down. You know, if you really love fragrance, try to bring it down to non-overdose. I have ever entered an elevator that smells perfume. I wonder if the person actually bathed in fragrance, you know. So National Academy of Science confirmed that this chemical that is used in fragrance could actually cause cancer. If you want to research, you could always private message me and I'll send you this research. All right, so there's many compelling evidence for conclusions that and supporting information that says about this fragrance that it is actually a new human carcinogen. All right, so there's the name for it as well. It actually induced cell proliferations in the lymph node, which is not actually is not a good thing. Right? So number two, it actually this fragrance or this air chemical that we have been breathing in and out from air refreshener actually will also cause to disrupt. It's a disruptor to your productive system, and it poses a risk for hormone related cancers like breast cancer, ovarian cancers, and prostate cancer. So phthalate and synthetic must confuse our hormonal system, throwing things off track. For example, phthalate exposure is linked to early puberty in girls, and is a risk factor for later life breast cancer. I don't know if you noticed, but parents out there with young daughters, that is menstruating at the age of 8 or 9, you have to start looking at, are they exposed to fragrance? Are they exposed to perfume detergent or perfumed what you call that, I don't know, washing detergent or things like that. They could be inhaling because while they are sleeping on their nicely washed perfumed pillow, they're exposed to it day in day out. Probably that is one of the reasons. I'm not saying 100%, but these are the lifestyle that we are exposed to lately, and it might be already causing a lot of health havoc in your children and your life. So there's also been a study linked to reduce sperm mortality and concentration, increase the damage of sperm DNA and hormones change. So that is number 2. Number 3, toxicity of this chemical coming from our air refreshener can also cause our liver and kidney filter toxic substance from the body, so that they get hit hard when exposed to high level of chemical from fragrance. If we're exposed to them day in and day out, you will cause your liver and kidney filter to be altered, to be damaged. Physical symptoms, you can start looking at it by seeing rashes. People with eczema nowadays is pretty common, acne and dermatitis. All right, so popular fragrance chemical toluene attack the nervous system, blood, liver, kidney, eyes, and even skin, and triggered asthma attack as well. Number 4, now we are back to nervous system. Nervous system is also hit hard by chemical using fragrance productions. As the chemical enter your body while upper heart airway, they eventually make their way to limbic sections of the brain. This is where they start to affect your nervous system. So according to Rosemary Williams, author of Tau-Set Letters for Doctors and Patients, when fragrance reach the brain, they start to cause all sorts of neurological changes. Immediately you can feel your mood change, pulse change, blood pressure change. Of course, there are some fragrance out there that's supposed to stimulate your mood, your pulse change, your blood pressure, because of the chemical that you are inhaling. So there's many forms of chemical out there, right? Whether it's synthetic one that is going to cause you health havoc, or you could fall back to the more natural chemical coming from fragrance from flower, but not all flower that can be inhaled are non-toxic or non-chemical, because there are some that is really toxic. So, or you could actually fall back to the old school, which is from plant-based scents. So I'm going to touch on it later. Alright, so some people will start to feel stressed and anxious when they have inhaled chemical fragrance, and that is because it has affect its nervous system. That's why you are having a mood change, you are having an anxiousness, you're having somehow some kind of anxiousness. So that was number 4. Last but not least, air. What's going to affect you when you are not inhaling fresh air, or you are inhaling toxic air? Respiratory system, right? Being a sense, it's obvious that fragrance has an effect on our respiratory system to some degree. We can't ignore that. So studies have confirmed that negative effects coming from synthetic fragrance have impact on your respiratory health. One study showed a decline in exhalation volume by 58% when you're exposed to synthetic cologne. Other study asked nearly 1,100 people right here to complete questionnaire about exposed to fragrance product like air refreshener, cleaning solution, personal care product, and likewise your daily personal care product like your bath bath lotions, shampoo, cleanser. All these are personal product that carries fragrance, by the way. And how these product reactions has triggered their health, and 1/3 of them report experience of health issues with the scent product, like skin rashes, sinus issue, eczema, anxiousness, stress. In fact, some even shared about their asthma attack. So as I've mentioned, the 5 health havoc, whether it's the left lymphatic system, reproduction system, liver and kidney issue, nervous system, or even respiratory systems, due to air refreshener that is at home, whether it's the little tree that you hang, you know, the flat one, the paper product that is the air sense refreshener that you hang in your clothes wardrobe, you know, or in your in your car or in your home, or even the spray air refreshener, or even the one in the tin. You should avoid using it already, because if it has a label that is a fragrance, then you will know that there's actually many hidden chemical name behind this name called fragrance. All right, so thankfully, you know, we are aware of it right now. So there are alternatives to it, which is you can put real what you call that, real plant-based product. You can make made of it. You know, it's really hard, but if you really need that sense because you love smelling nice scents, you know, you can make yours using peppermint, orange, lavender, or lemongrass. Some people actually place pandan leaf. In Asian culture, there's so much benefit putting pandan leaf in your car. It can ward away pests like cockroach and some little Roman cockroach that is found in your car because your car is unclean, so you put pandan leaf. But pandan leaf also emit wonderful fragrance. It's natural, so you can try putting pandan leaf, lemongrass, lavender, orange. I don't know how you're going to put orange, but probably you have to create your own orange scent, and peppermint scent. All right, you know, if you are in the Philippines and you know what I'm talking about, on the street, if there is some traffic going on, or you say traffic jam going on, you will see little girl or little boy, you know, on the street selling flowers, white flowers. I forgot the name of flowers. I think that would actually be a better way of air refreshener to your car once in a while than the one that found synthetic in a can. Right? So if you know what I'm talking about, I think that would be a better sense, you know, to the car. It's nice fragrance coming from that little white flower that they usually loop it in a way that you can hang in a car. So fragrance and all this nice smelling chemical could actually also be found in, as I said, personal product or home household product, like that you use for dryer sheets, you know, the one that softener that you found in your home that contains the word fragrance, there is chemical in it. All right, if not, why would the scent stay so long? So household product, if you're doing laundry, you would find this fragrance, then I would suggest that you should remove this scent away from your house. All right, even for perfume they have this word fragrance, or you know that is chemically made, then I would suggest you also remove it. I encourage you to avoid fragrance, in fact, in products like air refreshener, dryer sheets, you know, personal care product, detergent, dish soap, you call it, you know, shampoo. Make it a resolution of yours in this 2019 to avoid this product. Who knows, you know, maybe a health issue will just disappear because you remove this from your life. It's worth a shot. Whether either way, you'll be protecting yourself, your family members, those around you from this synthetic fragrance that poses threat to your body and your health. So that's all I have for you today about air that you're breathing every day. If you're conscious about it, you know what I'm talking about. You know, remove this new name to this fragrance that's called the new second-hand smoke, you know, that's causing you health havoc. So brought to you by Healthy Sexy Simply Nature. This is Jaslin every Thursday 8 a.m. You know, I'm touching on air series this week. I probably will be again sharing about air purifying system. natural way next week, and hope you enjoy this week. All right, so none other than, if you were to follow my page, you know, you could click on to Simply Nature, and every Thursday you see me at 8 a.m. sharing with you about health tips. All right, so YouTube channel, I'll be downloading what you have missed today on my YouTube channel. If you missed the last few episodes, you could click on it as well. So sharing with you about how to win the product, click the last few link, and brought to you by Simply Nature. Healthy is sexy. This is Jaslin. If you know about what we're talking about and you are interested to know more about us, you could click on to simplynature.asia. And if you already knew, very familiar with us, and you were very excited about what I'm offering to you today, click on to international order or Philippine orders. Brought to you by Simply Nature. Once again, this is Jaslin. Have a nice week ahead, alright? So God bless you. Bye. Bye, guys.